You are listening to Tomes of the Chaos Bard.
There's bubbles everywhere. Mine fizzed everywhere.
All right, guys. What do we want?
Race car noises.
When do we want them? Yay!
Welcome to Tomes of the Chaos Bard. Our mailbag episode, 4 years. Woo! Okay, I am Abby. I am your host for the mailbag episode, and to the left, I am the left.
Good
So
job,
I'm
Betsy.
Elsie, and I play Boudreaux.
Becky and I play Tick.
I'm Evan and I play Spike.
I'm Zeb and I play Fenrir.
Just a moment of realization. And I'm Dave, DM Dave, and I play DM.
I play everything else.
Solemn and everybody else. Okay, well, we're just gonna start the very top of the first questions, and then move our way down. And yep, David, there is no peeing at the table.
Well, I was trying to pour my drink in the Mimic mug that I have. But you can get your own Mimic mug at Ember Glow Treasures, and get your own Mimic mug. Yeah.
Be just like DM Dave.
Yeah.
Shameless plug.
And you can blame the Mimic mug for certain events that had happened in the podcast.
No, that's just
grape juice.
Grape juice.
No grape juice.
In the Mimic mug.
Okay. All right. First question is from Sarah. Can we expect more musical numbers in 2025, like Solemn and The Duke?
Yes. Our most recent episode did have a new song in it. And we are working on a Chaos Chronicle that will also have a new song in it.
Yes. Also, still writing the Henley Chaos Chronicle, which will have a new song in it too.
Yes.
And I think we'll also have one with
That's true.
Roscoe's funeral.
Yes,
Maraska's
we will.
funeral.
We'll have an original.
That one actually has been written for the podcast since Henley had died, quote unquote.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
That's true. Because this is actually a podcast exclusive song. Because a lot of the other songs that we use are actually from D.A. Nichols and her melodramas that she's done. And she's given us permission to use her music that she's written for her musical melodramas. And we've been able to adapt them with her permission to our podcast. So this one was specifically written for Tomes of the Chaos Bard, just like Solemn, the Chaos Bard, has been. And a lot of the other Solemn-only songs have also been Tomes of the Chaos Bard exclusives.
Okay. Next question. Unless we have any more comments? I'll sing for you.
Have you heard any of our episodes? We sing all the time.
We're adding a lot more songs to them, our random songs.
Yes.
It's been a while since we've done that.
No, SpongeBob wasn't that long ago.
I'm pretty
hard
sure
to sing when you lose a party member. Lots of more dramatic drama.
Yeah.
Next question is from Hunter. To the entire Tomes of the Chaos Bard crew. I tried to think of a question, but my mind couldn't seem to think of one. However, I just want to take this time to thank you all for your friendship, support, and the wonderfully zany show you all have made. With how chaotic this year wound up being, TTRPGs and shows like yours have been able to keep me in a better headspace, even on my worst days. I look forward to listening to how this show and you all continue to grow during this next year. Nothing but love, Hunter. Well, thank you, Hunter. We also love your support, and all your wonderful comments and the Discord. We sure have a lot of fun in Discord. If you don't already follow us and join our Discord, you should, because we have a lot of fun.
Yep, our Discord's free, so you don't have to pay for anything.
Yep.
I always thought it was weird to have people pay to communicate.
Hang out with us.
Yeah. So that's why we decided to do it free. And we've had a lot of fun there.
Mm-hmm.
And that's exactly what we tried to do. When we decided to do this podcast, it was for that reason, to help people just escape for a little bit, to enjoy, have some wholesome, something wholesome to listen to. Yeah, at Dead Wars, there was a family that came, and they mentioned that they had their house burned down and stuff, and so that was one thing that they listened to kind of escape for a little bit, and they listened to our show. So,
As a family.
yep. And we've had a lot of people email us and say the same thing. They listen to it as a family and enjoy it, and so it gives us. And I try my best to share it with everybody because I see the emails. So I try my best to make sure when I get a fun email like that, I send it to the group. But it's one thing that helps us keep going is that kind of reaction. Because I know for me, I'm horrible at feedback. I'm horrible at letting people know I appreciate what they do. Especially like podcasts. Like I have several that I really like and listen to, but I never ever reach out to them and whatnot. But once we started this one, and I see and feel how important it is to me, I've started to reach out to other podcasts and be like, hey, I really like your stuff. At least giving them a 5-star review or whatnot. So we really appreciate that feedback, because it does fuel us and gives us something to look forward to.
And there will be another Psalms column with reviews here soon.
I got like 10 of them I need to do.
Also, on that note of things up and coming, I've been working on a new coloring page that's spring and flowery. So keep an eye on our socials. This one has Boudreaux in it, and it's really fun.
Oh, yeah.
So we'll be doing another coloring contest. Don't know what the prize yet will be, unless we want the same, the tournament and our exclusive patron coloring book, which just got a new character, by the way.
You did.
Yeah. Finally got a tick drawing. Okay, next question is for Roscoe.
Bop, bop.
What exactly is in Rowdy Roscoe's Delight apart from potatoes? And this question is from Joshua.
So it's got potatoes. More potatoes. No, it's just a simple hash, basically. It's got potatoes and like a dinner sausage, and there was cheese and peppers and tomatoes and onions and stuff. And it was all just cooked in a skillet with a little bit of butter and some salt and pepper, and it was delicious.
Simple ingredients, delicious. Okay, this next question is also from Joshua, and it's for me, Abby. In episode 2, oh dear, you mentioned you love your new dice. Did you ever use any other dice afterwards? And is that why you kept rolling too slowly in Avalon? Probably. I have used the same dice, except for in these most recent episodes, for a long time. They were pink and blue, and I always used them, and they were the dice that was the most lucky for me, believe it or not. But I recently got some new dice, and I really like them, and I've been using them in the most recent episodes. But I will also have you know, it really doesn't matter what dice I use. I am cursed, so...
Yeah, I sit by her, so I keep my dice really far away.
She has been known to curse other
I have
people's
been
dice.
known to curse other people's dice or their lucky dice. I keep to my own dice. Yep. And even when we play with my other friends, I am not allowed to touch other people's dice.
They made the mistake a couple times.
Yep,
Because she'd
and-
roll low.
I roll really
And they're like,
low.
here, use this die. This die is always lucky. Natural 1. And it's
Every
never
time.
rolled for
It's
them.
never rolled it better for them ever again. Yeah. And usually when someone hands me a dice, I roll the natural 1 for them. Yeah. So I am just that that person.
We should try my one dice that you have to give money to so that it works. I wonder if that would work for you.
But I don't have any money to give it, so...
Oh.
Abby, maybe that's the reason you keep rolling low, is that all of your dice just are greedy and they want to be bribed.
Bribed. Well, they're going to have to wait a few years.
You can always take the money back. It's not like they have legs.
I think that's even more cruel. Here's some money. Roll well for me. No, you rolled well. Now it's mine.
Well, they could want something else. It couldn't just be money. Maybe they want your fingernails, or maybe they want your hair,
Or pennies.
Ew.
or pennies.
Gross.
Are you saying that her dice want offerings?
Yes.
It doesn't hurt.
So basically, you're making her dice like a god or a patron by
Yes.
offering them.
Yes. I mean, we do
Sounds
call
like
them
a-
the dice gods, don't we?
Yeah,
I don't know. Yeah.
you're just offering the wrong things.
Next question is from Kundari on Discord. Is Boudreaux secretly a genius and he just acts like he's not?
I don't know. Somebody tell me.
I personally think so.
I think he is extremely wise and we're all just too intelligent to understand it.
I think Boudreaux's living a happy life. And that's all that matters to him. Until other people ruin it!
Why was that pointed at me, Elsie?
Because you were the mean. No, I think Boudreaux is not a genius, but I do think he's kind of, wise, I guess.
Not
And-
intelligent, but wise. There's a difference between wisdom and intelligence.
Yeah.
Boudreaux has done a
He's
lot.
street smart. Yeah.
Boudreaux's been through a lot.
Yeah.
And when he's willing to share, it's very helpful and wise.
Or it's not when he's willing to share, rather, it's when he gets the opportunity to.
Oh no, he's had the opportunity and straight up just ignored or sidestepped things several times.
You talking about the wisdom or the story?
Yes.
Yes.
We haven't had the goose for a while, and the goose took the wisdom with him.
That's right. We haven't had the goose for a long time.
I think in the not too long ago we had the goose.
Yeah,
But it wasn't for me. I think it was for you, David.
We honked.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because Boudreaux hasn't necessarily been Mr. Positive, Upgoing Boudreaux recently either.
Yeah,
No.
Well, there's a reason for that.
There is reason for it.
Elsie,
Yeah.
what's the difference between a lizard folk and your gator? Also, if they both live in the swampy areas, wouldn't they look pretty similar? So how do you tell the difference?
Well, one walks on two legs. It's bipedal, and the other one walks on four.
So if somebody taught their gator to walk on two legs, would it then be a lizard folk?
Yes.
That's
Except
why
for-
they have an
Except
emotional
for they
intelligence.
don't talk that much, gators. They just hiss at you.
Is that why the lizard folk have an emotional intelligence the size of a nut?
Now, that's not a question for me. That's a question for David.
That the gators have an intelligence size of a
No,
nut?
the lizard folk, because they're secretly just gators that learn to walk on two legs.
Maybe I should do a Chaos Chronicle.
And you answer the question.
I might have the answer to something about that.
See, what it originally started out as is like somebody had a pet gator, right? A few pet gators. And they were people that, it was that one crazy lady, instead of cats, they have gators.
Oh, yeah.
And just like a crazy cat lady, they like to dress up their cats.
They watched The Rescuers. The first one.
The first one.
Yeah, not down under.
And they dressed up their alligators. And they put them in like poses and took pictures of them and whatnot. And so they eventually learned how to walk. Then the evil cat lady died. Not evil, but the
Ooh.
gator
The
lady
gator
died.
lady.
And they just kept growing, and they kept their clothes on and kept walking bipedal, and they
Maybe
learned
it
how
was
to talk.
Kundas.
No. No.
Next
All this
question.
time, Kundas has been a female.
It was a Lazarine. No, but seriously. So,
Far
okay,
off.
so, but for real life, what's the difference between the lizard folk and the gators? Because if that's the only difference, wouldn't they get offended by the gator on your back?
No.
Why?
So one is an animal and another one is a creature.
What's the difference if the only thing that's different about them is the fact that one can walk and talk?
The intelligence.
That's a pretty big
Well,
difference.
Smartness.
Maybe the intelligence is the exact same. They just haven't had the opportunity to learn to speak common.
They have not evolved. Hashtag Pokemon.
So,
So
alligator
they say
evolves
lizard
into
folk,
lizard
lizard folk,
folk?
and gator.
Yes.
I have so many more questions, but we can move on.
I like it. Okay.
Gosh.
Next question is from Megan. Hello. A silly question for the characters. What would happen if they all played Jenga?
Well, Boudreaux would obviously win. So
That's funny. You're so funny. That's
Who's the
very
one
cute
that
of you.
would always accidentally bump the table and knock it over?
Boudreaux.
Boudreaux.
no. Boudreaux would win.
I feel like Boudreaux would.
I feel like Tick would almost win, and Henley would get really mad. And then Boudreaux, to keep the peace, accidentally knocks the table, and it falls over.
And
Not
Fenrir
accurate.
uses Mage Hand and like knocks it over.
I was going to
Really
say
was gonna be the
Fenrir
one
would
that
use
would
his
win.
mirror image. Give him
I-
4 times the chance of winning.
I actually think that Boudreaux's the one hosting the party, and he keeps forgetting to play and take his turn because he's making popcorn.
Uncle Popcorn?
No.
Uncle Popcorn's popcorn recipe.
But see, that's another
okay.
difference between lizard folk and gators. Lizard folk don't eat other lizard folk.
We want to eat Boudreaux. That's why they fattened him up.
No.
No.
All right, so they all think that they would evenly win. So I think the only way to do this is to actually have a game of Jenga and see who wins.
Okay, I gotta put on a fat suit for this.
I gotta shrink down. It's okay, guys.
I also think Henley would
gotta play
refuse to
dead.
play with Tick.
We'll play it on Evan.
Don't breathe.
No.
Don't breathe, Evan.
You're moving it.
That's okay. Spike could play too. It's fine.
He's not part of the team yet.
Fenrir is the only elf in the group. He would definitely win.
Yeah.
He does have that nimbleness.
But also Tick has thief hands. But Mage Hand versus thief hands.
Here's the thing. Tick has been around, around Fenrir for so long that I think he knows all of his little quirks, that he would just take advantage of the fact and do something to just set him off, or do something just wrong, and it would set him off, and he would lose.
I
Okay.
know what Tick is doing.
That's it.
Tick is not playing because Henley won't play with him. He is pickpocketing all the chump change.
Oh, absolutely. And then he's not going to give it to Fenrir.
That's it.
Not
Who
this
asked
time.
the question?
It
Megan.
was Megan.
Megan, we're going to play in podcast, and we'll see what happens.
Hold on.
This will
Which
be
character
great
do I have?
audio. Great audio content.
Click.
No, it'll be great though, because we can take pictures and little recordings, and Abby can send them out.
Sounds like
Post
a
it on
really good-
YouTube.
Yeah.
That would be really
No, I don't think Tick would actually play. I think Tick would be like, "This is a waste of my time,"
But we're
and
gonna
ask
play.
all the stupid
We're
questions.
gonna play who gets the free level. Whoever wins gets the level.
Again, Tick would not play.
Yeah, I'm gonna win. And I'm gonna take a level.
But Drill wins. We need a healer. we need a healer to level up. So.
Oh,
win.
okay.
We just need our healer to get the crazy person. on
Those
his
were
head.
fighting words
Okay.
for a second there.
Okay, let's
Next question is
Next
also from Kundari on Discord. This is for the mailbag. Tick, how would you rank everyone else in the party from best to worst?
go. Would Tick have
Dead.
to shut up? Would Tick have to rank David?
I don't know. In the party.
Okay,
So not David. Well, I mean, obviously Finley's the best, even though he's the squishiest and he's probably gonna die the easiest. So
That's been proven wrong.
no, because I almost killed him when we saw him again.
Yeah, but
Almost.
Almost. I stabbed you in the chest. Boudreaux's usually pretty good. Except when he's in a really moody mood, and then he seems to be really out of it. So, but he's still better than Henley, because Henley's always mean. So mean. I meant to be the better being. So anyway, so Henley's probably on the bottom because she's just the meanest to me. And then, yeah, well, now Finley's still gonna be on the top because Finley's my best friend. Lots of orphan stories together.
Well, there you got it, Kandari. Right, straight from Tick.
I actually thought about that one, by the way.
Okay, the next question is from Ryan. I finally thought of one. What is the most memorable line you can remember from a game session? Or do you have any inside jokes that you regularly repeat outside of your game sessions? So 2 questions.
Boudreaux, go. Elsie, go. You're not Boudreaux right now.
Because you don't know where the human went.
Yes.
Oh, I thought it was going to be Boo for Beautiful.
No.
Where the human went was a really good one, though.
Beltsy is probably one.
What?
Bootsy.
That's a good one.
That's probably one I remember.
I just like all the names we've come up with for Fenrir.
Yeah, that's
Fenrir
what I
names,
was
yep.
thinking. Yes, so
That's a good
good,
one.
so funny. I remember so early on in the podcast, Henley dying and getting eaten by a bug, and
episode
obviously,
12.
even in game, we cannot let it go.
I love that.
He gets mentioned a
A
lot.
lot.
And now we're going to have a new character in the party, so now they need to know. They need
Boudreaux's
to
going
know
to
how
take
the story went.
Boudreaux's going to take full advantage of that, too.
Oh,
so
yeah.
he can retell the story.
Oh, yeah.
Multiple times.
I liked all of Orozco's monologues. There wasn't just a one.
Oh, yeah, his speeches were so good. We're going to miss those speeches.
Who says his new character won't have speeches?
Well, I'm sure he will, but it'll be different.
It won't
you sure?
be the same.
His new
They
character
won't be
could
the
be like
same.
a moody teenager.
Fenrir might have some really... Fenrir had a really good
Fenrir
speech.
had some good speeches too.
The one right before the troll fight was really cool.
No, the good song. That one.
Oh, yeah.
For
Fenrir's
Lionel?
song. This is me.
Mm-hmm.
That he
From
did
that
to
episode.
audition
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That was memorable.
That was really cool.
back in like 33, 32.
It was in the Avalon arc for sure.
Mm.
I don't. We're almost at 100 episodes, guys. I think we're gonna start forgetting where.
Zeb, did you have a favorite anything from the podcast that you can think about?
It's
Nothing
okay.
that comes directly to my mind.
It's okay. You can compliment me.
The
It's
where
fine.
did the human went?
The
That was
whole
classic.
podcast is my favorite.
No.
I like everything we do.
I
don't.
did really like the WWE episode. That was fun.
Oh, that was fun.
Oh my
That was good.
gosh.
And the bard battle.
I loved that.
Oh, David doing his Elvis voice was fabulous.
That had been one we talked
Yes.
about off recording one time.
Before we were even,
Yeah, I think before we
Yeah.
were even recording.
because I think we talked it in a post show, but me and Abby were coming up with all of these names from actual singers and stuff. We were telling
Oh,
David.
Robert Bumpkin.
I love Bumpkin. That's exactly
Just
who I
in
was thinking
general.
of.
No, Willow.
Willow was
Willy
good,
Willow?
but we haven't seen Willow in a while.
Well, while we're on that, we can go over who our favorite NPCs are: Robert and Willow. And
Willow.
Who was the guy in the caves that's the scaredy cat?
It was a scaredy cat.
Yeah, the one that always runs away and survives.
Oh,
everything.
Oscar?
Oscar. Yeah.
Trying to figure out where to throw him in next.
Can he be at a place where they sell beans and he's eating them?
My favorite is
Green beans, kidney beans, not
Not
his
his
favorite.
That's another one.
Swindell is probably my favorite NPC.
Oh, he's
Oh, yeah.
such a good one.
Swindell's fun.
Just
I
the-
don't like Swindell.
Just the name and the
Opportunity he
opportunity
provides.
and everything. Like
That's
He's
right.
just a really good character.
Gotta
He's-
figure
none
out
of my
how
characters have ever
Spike's
liked
gonna feel about him.
Swindell, but Abby really loves Swindell.
Oh, see, mine is the opposite because I don't like Swindell. I've never liked Swindell. But when I was playing Lila thought he was amazing, that he was great. And it was really hard to play somebody who thought the exact opposite of me.
No,
That's-
Robert's probably one of my favorites to
Hello,
play.
Robert.
I remember
enjoy
when you
Robert.
were practicing
Do
that
the
voice.
voice.
It was like
Do the
nails
voice,
on a
David.
chalkboard.
Well, hey guys.
So I really do. In the next Friend D&D game with Abby's friends, that's the one I'm leaning towards. Is playing him as a cleric.
No.
Obviously, don't
A
do it. I
very
have to listen to
passive
it.
aggressive
Healer.
but also he's the people who don't like violence, that don't like fighting.
Pacifist.
They're very pacifist.
Oh, that's exactly how my cleric is the way playing our friend campaign is. But she does not get along with the dwarf very well. And it's like it throws a lot of shade at him, but it's not very good. Like, does not like confrontation a whole lot if she can get away with it.
Yeah, very passive aggressive. Very me. I'm pretty passive aggressive.
Is there any other inside jokes that we do or that we repeat? Outside of, well, there's a lot of memes and things about Roscoe's death right now.
Yeah.
Wow.
A lot of that.
There is.
Yeah, in the chat, you're just never in it.
Oh,
We do have a Facebook chat just between us, and we send a lot of
shenanigans
in there.
is the best way to put it.
That's true.
We share memes and videos, and I put the episode titles in there. I haven't done that in a while, though. We usually vote on them. Yeah. Next, any other outside of game?
Nope.
No.
Okay. Next question is from Rosalind. I am a huge fan of your podcast, which is amazing in all the ways. And I have 3 questions for you guys. 1 for DM Dave and 2 for the whole group. DM Dave, did you write the entire plotline for this podcast? How long did it take and how did you think of it?
So, yes and no. So I knew where I wanted to start, and I knew where I wanted to go. And I knew who my bad guy was going to be. And so to fill in the gaps, I started it off and then seeing where the group would want to kind of head and how to fill in the blanks is kind of how I did it. I knew certain objectives to certain points of the story I wanted to get to, but overall it's been kind of winging it, going with the flow, seeing what people want. Like I said, had a beginning, an end, who I wanted the bad guy, and then just kind of different points in the story that I want to be like, okay, I want the bad guy to show up in this area, or I want this thing to happen, and just went from there and seeing how the people interacted.
How long did it take you?
Probably since 2016 when we started playing.
Yeah.
Because this is technically like the 3rd campaign that's been in this world that have not yet been able to complete the whole story.
And things just keep getting fleshed out.
And yep, things keep getting fleshed out. From the original creations of the story, I've changed some of the lore and stuff about different races that are in my races or species, or what do you want to, ancestral, however you want to call them. Changed a lot of those lore things about them. The bad guys have evolved and changed. Yep.
Did you change the lore because of us as players and the input that you had there, or was it just because you're like, I actually don't think this is going to work for what we're using right now?
A little bit of both, Because I am definitely a lot more open than I was when I originally started. Because when I first created this world, it was just like, no, this race does this race does this. Everything was very separated and put in there. But the more I talk to you guys, the more creative you guys are. I was like, you know what? That's actually a fun idea. I really like that idea.
Also, we get inspiration, where I say we, but David and I'm usually watching the things he's watching and reading, from video games, TV shows, all the media we consume. Sometimes ignites a spark and run from there.
Yeah, because we really like the idea of, and we do our characters this way too, it's traditional with the twist. We have the traditional way of doing things, but I like to twist it a certain way just to make it my own. Or the influence of what you guys have brought to the characters themselves. I'll be like, yeah, that is now kind of part of that culture.
So what has been, and it doesn't have to be somebody from like this part of the campaign, what has been something that one of the players has brought to you that has been your favorite thing to change from what you originally had? That you've liked the best?
I think Tick's been a big influence on a lot of things. Just you kind of rambling about different goblin things. I've really liked that. Like, goblins always having some kind of personal trinket, and that's kind of where they get their names, is what they obsess. Like, they have their original name, but then they get those nicknames. Like, Marbles is one that pops in my mind.
Oh, yeah.
Because he was obsessed with marbles. And so that's kind of a culture thing as well that Becky influenced into the goblin culture.
I didn't even think about clearing that with you either. I just said it. I'm like, oh, well, that should have probably been. Whoops.
Well, and there's a lot of things like just a peek behind the DM screen is like, there's a lot of things I don't have planned out. Like, to be able to plan out like the whole lore of elves and then wood elves and high elves and the whole lore of humans and the whole lore of lizard folk, halflings and all that jazz. I have ideas of kind of what their cultures are, but I have not dug in deep with them.
Got a concept, but not fleshed out.
You did with the
Exactly.
Myconids, but that was for a different reason.
Correct. The Myconids had a different thing, and that was inspired by a different DM podcast that I listened to, and they did a whole episode of the Myconids and kind of how they worked and everything, and I was like, ooh, yes, that's exactly how I wanted it. And then twisted it to my own liking of like which is an influence that Abby had, is that they had the nature's World Wide Web type idea. All the plants.
The Root Wide Web.
And the Root Wide Web. That they all had influence and they can communicate. So the Myconids have information from all over the globe, not just in their area. They know everything because they are a hive mind. They share each other's thoughts and everything. Yep.
Next question for the whole party. Do you each collect dice, have favorites, or ones that roll well, and or have jails or towers or rituals? Yes, 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 yes.
Have you seen any of the posts about my dice?
I've recently been making Becky's Dice Hoard posts on the days that we record. And if you follow on Instagram, they're pretty fun. Becky has a lot of dice.
I play a goblin in multiple ways. I'm just kidding.
I think we all kind of collected.
Yeah, I think we all. It's just part of the game, realistically, is...
Do you only need one set?
Do you really?
Yes.
No.
I mean, like...
If you ask any player, no. You need all the dice.
Just this week, I got another set of dice. I mean...
And they're pretty. I like them.
I've got, not as many as Becky, but I've got them. And for me, I just pull them out and play with them. Like, they're just there. They're my fidget dice.
I
And
know
our
one of
children are
Becky's
now-
favorites because they've been in the Becky's Dice Hoard twice is the rubber ducky ones.
I love the rubber ducky ones. Those are also the ones that I used when David and I did the 3-part one-shot last year.
Yeah.
But I was like, I was trying to think of a set of dice that would work well for that character. I'm like, Ducks.
Dicks.
Ducks. That was a good one.
That was a fun campaign to do. Rosemary PG
Yep, Rosemary PG Studios.
Studios. Check them out.
Sam, what about you? Do you collect dice? Do you have a lot of dice? How many sets do you have?
Like, if you don't, I will make sure that you do now.
I'm trying to think. I think me personally, I have only bought one set of dice.
Mm.
I have been gifted other ones, but I've only personally bought one.
That's impressive.
Yeah, I don't usually buy my own dice.
So I
See
collect
either.
ones that people give me.
But yeah, I don't usually buy my own dice because I'd rather just. The only time I have is when they're really weird, like my kite dice that just have kites in them. But I can't use them because they're
They're not balanced.
they're rigged badly.
Not in a good way.
They're not balanced.
Yes, if they were rigged good, I mean, I'd use them. But yeah,
I really enjoy metal dice. That's the ones I really like.
Yes, you do.
And there's a couple that I want to get, but I have a hard time dropping $30 to $80 on one set of dice.
Dear David, you also have somebody who makes you dice calendars.
Yes.
Yes.
Please send me inspiration.
Becky made us this amazing dice calendar for Christmas this year, and it was so much fun.
And our girls are becoming dice goblins.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
Linda asks me all the time. She'll look through my dice, and she'll be like, "Dad, you don't use this one. Can I have it?"
Yep. She comes over and asks for trades.
We do trades.
I find dice all over the house.
'Cause that was one fun thing we did with the dice calendar, is that we opened all the dice, and then on Christmas, when we opened the last one, we did like an NFL draft. So we put all the dice in the middle, because Becky did have certain sets that went to each person, so we made sure they got their own set. And then all the extra dice, we rolled to see who got the first draft pick and everything, and then we just went around and we picked them that way. And then at the end, after they were all picked, we did a little trading thing. I'll trade you this one. I'll give you 2 of these dice to get that one die, and it was
That's awesome.
It was really fun. We also find dice all over the house. And Toby now loves to roll dice when we play Monopoly or another game.
he has this thing.
He wants to roll the dice.
Yep. And we have a saying now with it too. When he grabs the dice, it's shake a, shake a, shake, shake a, boom! And he thinks it's so funny.
Oh, what's another ritual that we do? Like,
oh, I have a timeout chair.
That somebody made you.
Yeah, Tai Chi Kitty. I don't know her username, but she's in the Discord, and it's like Tai Kitty something.
oh yeah.
She's a friend of mine.
Also, my girls have enough dice now that they had to get a Nerd Alert Treasures dice bag with pockets. So they could keep their dice safe.
I like your dice jail though. Evan and I have a dunce cap, a crown, and like a throne, as well as the chair.
I have a
Timeout chair.
gelatinous cube that that I was given to put over bad dice, but can't say I've ever used it. All my dice do that, so I would need a really big one.
The girls really like using the gelatinous cube.
They do like to play with the gelatinous.
Linda's come up with a game where she uses the gelatinous cube for the dice.
They have a lot of creative play with the dice.
Yes, they do.
Nice.
Sometimes they use them as like they talk to each other.
That's funny.
Um,
Rituals though. Do we have any rituals other than picking out my dice for the session?
Every few months, I'll change out my DM dice. And it's generally when I get a new set of dice, is I always trade them out. And I retire some of them, or I bring some back.
Permanently retire, or just like for the time frame?
Pretty much for the time frame, because there's some that I started out with, because I always use 3 sets. It's just what I like to do. I use 3 sets, and I keep them separate from all the other dice. They're in a chainmail dice bag.
Oh yeah.
Those are my DM dice, and I use them to play as my other characters too. So there's those ones. Then I have my Nerd Alert Treasures pocket dice bag that holds all my other ones. And so every couple months or so, or if I get a new set, I get them back all out, and then I kind of mix and match, or not mix and match. I keep them all as a set, but I always try to make them different colors so I don't forget. Because if I roll a D20, I'll be like, oh, I need to roll another D20, and I'll just grab a random one and throw it. And then I'm like, if they're both the same color, I'm like, I don't know which one was which. So sometimes I'll re-roll it.
I did something similar last time we played with Elsie, because I was like, Elsie, this help me pick my dice, because Abby likes this one, but I don't think it goes with everything else that's here. But that's not that. Yeah, I guess that's an unconscious thing where my dice have to kind of go together.
When I like the sharp edge dice too.
Yeah,
That is my favorite. I'm not a fan.
They're
I
so
like
pretty.
them, but the round edged ones, not my favorite. I like the sharp edges.
Zeb
Mini
rolls.
dice.
You do have mini dice.
I like mini dice.
She likes even like mini dice.
Mini micro dice.
I don't know how you read those.
I get really close to them.
Let me get my magnifying glass out.
David also really likes to use the clinker or the Tomes
Yes.
dice towers.
So
I
does
like
Abby.
the clinkers.
I have really at first I didn't like use them a whole lot, but I really liked using it now. I like hearing it when I edit. It's very happy.
Makes a very pleasant sound.
Zeb rolls his dice before we start recording every single time.
I have to roll, so I try to roll now. I try to roll one bad roll to get it out of the way. And then I want to roll 3 high numbers in a row to start off
Just warming them up.
warming up. So I do
And do
that
you
pretty
trade
much
out the
every
dice
turn.
too, or is it you stay with that one and you got to get the low one and the 3 highs?
I stay with the same dice. So I
Okay.
pick one set of dice that I'm going to use that day. And then that set of dice has to get 1 low and then a few high.
Do you have any, Zeb or Evan?
I mean, no. I keep
Yes.
all of mine in a Pokeball,
Yes, you do.
and then I, as to fidget, I've got a bunch of the acrylic ones. Or those really cheap sets.
Yeah,
that
you they're acrylic.
I bought a set of acrylic ones that came like 10 different sets or something stupid like that I just lay out. And so actually what I do when we're in battle, I guess this is something weird. I use I'll lay out 5 or 6 sets and I'll actually roll a different D20 for each turn and then set it, as okay, I rolled it this turn, it rolled an 18, I'm going to leave it at that. And so I can see my last 5 rolls
Okay.
and see kind of what's happening and stuff. And
How well you're doing.
Yeah, I was like, well, this I really suck. So,
Interesting.
That's cool.
Yeah, I was like, if he says he doesn't, he does. I sit right next to him.
She's like, I've witnessed.
Okay, last question from Rosalind is how long have you guys been playing Dungeons & Dragons? And do you have a favorite campaign or one-shot you've played so far?
I really liked Zeb's one shot that has been recorded and not been put out. That was a fun one.
Yeah, Zeb.
It's coming.
He's doing some final
Eventually?
edits on it.
Yeah, there's some. It'll get here.
And it's
eventually.
weird
We're
'cause-
saving it for a rainy day.
Yeah.
And it's weird too because that was recorded on our old mics, and you did do a 1 through edit with it, and we listened to it, and it's like, man, these mics are so much better.
Yeah. 100%. Yeah, I've got to go back through and now mute some stuff that because of the old mics, a lot of the background noise came through. These new ones are pretty good about when I not picking some of that stuff up.
Love these new mics, which thanks to you guys for supporting us on Ko-Fi for helping us get these new mics.
Thank you.
Woot woot.
Yeah.
When did you all start playing D&D?
2017.
Which I think we started before. This is an
I
argument. This is an argument me and Abby have.
Not, it was 2017.
'Cause I say it's before we had our first kid, and she says it's after.
I don't remember sitting in Jordan's living room pregnant. It was with a child.
And I don't remember having a child at the beginning spots of when we were playing. Or maybe because I wasn't taking care of it.
Probably.
I was too focused on other things.
Sounds
Plus,
about right.
babies like mom more than me.
But I've encouraged the kids to like David more because I'm going to go crazy.
Yep, this new baby likes me, but the other two, nope. They didn't like me. But yeah, 2016, 17 is when we started playing.
I'm really close to right around when 5th edition just came out.
Correct. It's like a year or so after.
Mhm.
Yep.
Sometime in high school, and then with these guys. But I played a tiny bit in high school before I played with them. But then I had the
Words.
Yeah, next.
Interesting. Yes.
No. When it comes to my favorite campaign, this would have to be my favorite because it's the only one that's kept going. So, yeah, I've played lots of interesting characters, though. That's for sure.
I do enjoy your characters.
So D&D official probably was with you guys, campaign 2. The officially D&D, but when I was younger, I was probably middle school, high school. I don't actually remember a lot of things from when I was a kid. So my oldest sister's first husband had a cousin who did their own RPG stuff that's very similar to D&D, and I got a little bit there, but yeah, for the most part, this stuff. And I didn't want to play to begin with. Evan had to convince me.
I did.
Yep.
It was a group effort. I got Abby involved too.
That's true. It was
Abby is
probably
the
Abby, not
secret.
Evan.
Because Becky would come with us because Evan was playing with us at the time too.
So, and this was before the podcast.
Yes.
It was with the campaign 2 where I was hit and miss on attendance and stuff. But I dragged Becky along with me. And then we finally got her involved a little bit. So.
She was always commenting. It's just like, just come play. Just come play.
Yeah. So, yeah, I'm about the same time I just did campaign 2 with Dave. Did I do campaign 1 with you? Like briefly?
For like 2 sessions.
2 sessions.
Yeah.
And then life, work, probably.
Conflict with other players.
Yeah. No,
Yes, that was one of them. Yep.
yep.
Also, we were meeting in our garage.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So,
I was trying
It's
to
the
remember
only
if we had
place
kids or
big
not.
enough to have everybody in our little baby
So,
house.
but, yeah, I really enjoyed it and everything. And, the one shot, obviously, Zeb's one shot is probably the funnest one shot that I've done. But Dave's campaign has been pretty fun. Becky and I are in another campaign with some friends, which is very sporadic meetings.
Yeah, when we can get together.
And will be interesting because as tomorrow is our last gathering as in-person groups because one of the guys is moving to Oregon.
Yep.
So we'll see if that even continues, but yeah.
That's going to continue. I'll make it happen. I'm the one that makes that one happen anyways.
It's true shit.
So that's when I started, was the first campaign in Dave and Abby's garage. And I've been trying to think of what year that was. I want to say it was like 2018.
Yeah. David wanted to give a hand at DMing after playing for about a year-ish.
So I think it was about that time, and then I've been a part of the campaigns ever since. As far as one-shots go, it's the one that comes to mind, I did one with my brother and his friend, and his buddy was the DM, and he did a one shot where we went through like the what was it? It's like the 7 hells.
The 9 hells?
The 9 hells. But he did it with like the 7 deadly sins. That's what it was.
Okay.
Ooh.
So he came up with,
That's some sort of campaign?
it was
It's
a one shot.
Oh, okay.
So like he had 7 events, I guess you could say, that we did, like some things that we had to go through, and each one was based off the 7 deadly sins.
That
So
sounds really cool.
that was pretty sweet. It was a great idea. He did a pretty good job. But yeah.
Looking at the idea of the stuff that Avalon, that would have been a fun one shot too.
Yeah.
I'm sure it is. We just bombed it.
I
podcast.
really love playing our tournament. I've used it several times in games that I've run for. I'm usually the kid D&D person.
Yeah, because we play with my nephews and nieces and our kids.
So I've used
And
it.
your dad.
And my dad. My
He's
dad
part of the
is
kids'
he is
D&D
the
game.
kids' D&D game. For
That's
sure.
very fitting.
Yes.
Yes. We have fun with him.
Oh, he's so much fun. But I've loved playing that, and then there's a piece of a one shot that we got with the D&D starter kit that we love playing.
The Fandolin
Yeah, the Fandalvin.
Lost Mines or something like that.
Lost Mines of Fandalvin, the very first adventure with the cave and the bugbear and the wolves. David can do it from memory now. We love
Do it for church activities too.
Yes. I love those two.
I thought this was of the devil.
Nope.
There's a friend of mine.
The bishop asked me to do it.
A friend of mine ran a ghost hunting campaign. That was really fun. She lit the up the table with candles.
Oh yeah, I do remember that one.
And
That was fun.
it was really fun. And if you failed, you died.
There was sanity checks for that one too,
Yeah,
right?
there was, and it was a lot like
A little
a
complicated.
different system.
Yeah. Well,
Elements of a different system.
Another one. So on recording days for mailbags, we like to do something else afterwards. Like we do DM interviews afterwards. But there was one year that Elsie's friend Dakota came over after we got all the DM. He
was
made us
really
food.
fun.
Yeah, he made us food.
Really
We
good
did DM
food.
interviews. Oh yes, very delicious. And he ran a little one shot for us too, and that was really fun.
He did.
Yep.
I just remember the food.
That's where I played Rafa.
Yeah, okay. I just remember the food. The food
I
was really
remember
good.
being sick.
And I got a broom.
You were sick. Yeah.
I got to fly. Whee!
I remember it happening. I don't remember what the story
Yeah.
was.
It was like 2.5 years ago.
It was something.
years
There
ago?
was the broom, and you flew across a canyon, and
Yeah, I
did
totally,
something stupid, and I really
Walked
actually.
his he had a little maze thing.
Oh yeah.
And it was supposed to be a challenge, and I'm like, I fly over it, and he goes,
Oh,
oh dang it.
You just didn't like to play it.
Whack.
I don't remember. No, I don't. Like Evan. I remember happening, but I feel like Elsie right now. We're like, did it really happen? No, it didn't. Yes,
I
it
don't-
did. No,
I
it
don't
I
didn't.
even
remember you
what
played a
character I played.
drow character.
I remember
that
Wait.
again
I
did not get
played-
along with my character.
Hold
a
on. Was this the
character.
one that you two were like teamed up and play? He
I
like,
was the
served-
knight of the laundry.
Yeah.
That's
And you were the bard
right.
or whatever. His
But
hype
we
man.
can't talk too much about him because
thought
one
that
day
was
I
with
wish
your
to
campaign.
play him.
That's right.
Weren't you the knight of the laundry with his campaign?
No.
No.
With
He was
Zeb's,
the
no.
wizard.
Oh,
I was,
that's right. That's
I was
right.
his
Okay.
mentor.
I just remember David being the hype man for Elsie.
Yes,
And think this
yes.
was hilarious.
I was like his squire.
Yes,
Yeah.
he was my squire.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. And I played the bard. I think
Okay.
I was a
Yes,
bard.
I do remember.
That's right. I forgot about that. That was fun.
Yes.
Downy.
You're my
Downy.
But I did really enjoy it.
Yes.
I hope you guys are
Okay.
one day we'll get Zeb's one shot done.
Yes.
I loved your
'Cause
one shot. It was so good.
That was
so
way funny.
fun.
We had
really
such funny moments in there.
We love playing in the podcast, but we love being silly and playing characters in other games too.
We try
It's
to
a-
do it.
It's an
here.
entirely different ball game though, because
Mm-hmm.
it
You could be
doesn't-
whatever you want in a one shot. You have to actually think about what your character's going to have, like repercussions and stuff like
no.
that afterwards.
The Knight of the Laundry has a very good backstory. He even has a mortal enemy.
Yes.
Sounds like it could be its own one shot.
It's
the
a
night
teddy
of the
bear.
laundry.
No, it's not.
Knight
Oh, that'd be
of
funny,
the
though.
Laundry.
Do you want to know what it is?
Yes, I do.
Wizard of the Tide. It's his enemy. He shall slay him.
If you don't know already, we love puns. Because David and I have played several times. We've tried to play a character called Jack and Jill, but honestly, it only ever worked when Elsie played my Jack.
I'm the original Jack.
That's true.
Yep. My Jack decided to die.
Yeah.
How very dare he?
Yeah, I know.
And he never threw his halfling friend into battle.
No.
That was the whole point.
I'm a very good Jack.
That's because you never know what you're
I
actually
hope that
gonna
my
do.
Jack was not strong.
That's true. He was a deck space paladin.
Mhm.
That was a hard. Don't do that, guys.
Oh, I liked it. Your friends didn't like it, though. What do you mean a paladin's is not based on strength? Wanted to try something different. What do you mean he's only 5'5"? I told you I wanted to try something different.
He was also bald.
He was also bald,
No,
yeah.
well, what was his name? He was based off his looks. Was based off.
Howie Mandel.
Yep.
Ah, that's funny. Was he a germaphobe too?
No.
Oh, okay.
But he was very, this is very paladin, very law. This is the law. And the rest of the party were partially criminals. And so we butted heads a lot.
I want to play a hippie paladin. That would be so funny.
Stretch the bound of limits.
Okay, next question is from Lily. Hi, it's Lily again. Not sure if you guys remember me, but I've been following your podcast since you first started posting. Y'all's growth is so incredible. You're so much fun to listen to. I'd be lying if I didn't say I was pretty devastated after the past 2 episodes that have been released. Really excited for more. Thanks for making my life so wonderful as I grow up. Thanks, Lily. We're pretty devastated about Roscoe dying too, but we're so excited to see where Spike comes. And Spike is coming. You guys will have to wait like 5 or 6 more episodes to meet
Not that
Spike.
many. There's
How
a good,
many is it?
Oh, maybe there is.
Yeah.
Because we're still.
We're on 100 releases in 2 weeks.
Yeah. So I forget how far ahead we are.
We have to stay so far ahead in case sickness or
My work schedule.
and things, so we can keep posting.
Yeah, because
Spike
we're up
comes
to.
in 104.
Yeah, and so 100 comes out in 2 weeks. Because we just released yesterday.
Yeah, so about 4 more episodes.
You guys can do this.
5 more episodes. You'll meet Spike.
It's okay, guys. Boudreaux's still in every single one.
And he gets
So is
more
everybody
moody.
else.
for now.
Okay.
But yeah, that's been an interesting. Thank you, Lillian, as well. She's emailed us several times, and it's always a blast to hear from her.
We love fan mail, guys.
It's always a good boost, like we mentioned earlier. But yeah, the last couple episodes with dealing with Roscoe's death has been definitely hard on all of us.
Nah. I think it's been fine. It's been great.
I love the sarcasm.
Yeah, because we played a lot with, which I actually think that we'll be able to release the post show, because we're going to release the post show for the public to listen to on that one, because I think they're now officially done, I think, with that recording session that we did with the post show.
Yep.
But yeah, we'll release that and we'll get more information about how we felt during that whole
Fresh.
fresh right that night, because we actually took a long dinner break after that first episode, because he died pretty much the beginning of the second episode. But
Which we record 3.
yeah, we try to record 3 every night, every recording session. But anyways, I'm getting off topic.
Okay. I don't see a name on this question. But the question is, there have been a few character changes this year. How does everyone feel about the character changes and the reason behind the new characters? R.I.P. Roscoe.
Boudreaux's the same every
So sorry
time.
we forgot your name, but we got your question.
Well, you know how Henley feels about Tick. Abby really likes Tick. I love that we get the goblin lore and all the little tidbits that Becky has added to the goblin lore. And as I said, I'm actually pretty excited about Spike and his backstory. And no spoilers. But I really miss Roscoe as Abby. He was such a wonderful character and like a true hero. And I don't feel like we get a lot of that in media anymore. And I really like that.
Boudreaux's the same. And always will be.
Okay, well,
Nothing Nothing has changed about Boudreaux.
You're such a liar.
Never.
But how does Elsie feel about the character changes?
Oh yeah, they're cool.
They're cool. I just can't wait for the next couple of episodes to come out about Boudreaux. Him staying the same.
Yeah, totally
Yeah,
the same.
he stays the
100%
same. Boudreaux's fine. Guys, Boudreaux is fine.
Okay,
Uh-huh.
how does Elsie feel about Lila Garotha going away and Tick coming in? You're cool with that?
Boudreaux loves everybody.
I asked about Elsie, not about Boudreaux.
What's the question?
How do you feel about the new characters coming in?
Yeah.
Well, I like them.
Okay.
I'm excited.
Great.
Yeah, I think it's cool. Like, I think seeing the different characters and different interactions, and just seeing the depth that the characters in the room can play, like just a different character, I think is really cool. There is a piece of me like that is like not enough to do anything about, but like a little bit jealous because we have, I've been playing Fenrir for the last 4 years. It's like, yeah, okay, I'm like, yeah,
You can
am
play
I
Lila Garotha.
ready to play somebody new? Maybe, but I like Fenrir as a character, so I don't picture him going anywhere.
You just need a level.
Yeah.
That
We're getting
always
there.
freshen things up.
We're getting there.
No, I'm serious. You can play Lila Garotha. You have 2 different characters to play all the time then. And think about how they're going to react to everything all the time then.
I've also liked seeing, those who have played new characters, how the things they do as a player, some of the things stays the same.
It's okay, Abby.
And there's
you
a
can
few
say me.
things that change, such as like Becky is really good at arguing, and both Lila Garotha and Tick are really good at arguing.
But the dynamic behind the argue is completely different.
Yeah, for sure.
True, but I'm saying that quality in Becky
Yeah.
of being able to logically go through a argument offhand is just impressive.
I have 6 siblings, Abby.
I'm just saying.
I've had a lot of practice.
That is a skill I admire because I do not have it. When arguments come up, I go.
I have 6 siblings, and my closest biological niece in age is 5 years younger than I am, which is closer to me than my oldest sister. So I have like 9 siblings. No. That, Evan can tell you I don't love to argue anymore, but I used to really like to argue. I used to do a lot of the political argument too, like just to kind of see the why behind that stuff. I don't like to get into politics a whole lot now because it's a whole lot more than what I want to deal with anymore. But I used to do the same thing with campaign 2 character with David specifically too. But I just like to play devil's advocate with that one though.
Yeah. That was so frustrating. Because like, hey, we got a game plan. And then it's like, wait a minute. It's like, wait, the original plan was your idea. Now you're playing devil's advocate to it. What is going on?
Well, yeah, because I wanted to know the why behind the things. But that character was a lot of the why behind the things.
Yes.
So that, I think, made sense for that
A
character.
knowledge cleric.
Yeah.
Well, I can play serious characters for sure.
For short periods of time. I like... so...
It's like David. David cannot play a serious character. He's found this out. He cannot do it.
That's okay. I really wanted to play a character who was like really funny and bubbly and like it's kind of spacey, and I can't. I can't. That's what Lila was supposed to be.
I've discovered I have a very difficult time playing a comedic character. So,
Hey, me too. It's
What
okay.
is comedic?
a character like Boudreaux.
No.
Comedic.
When you meet Spike, I like just watching Evan, and the difference is just sitting at the table with his demeanor when he was playing Boudreaux versus now when he's playing Spike.
You mean
Roscoe.
Roscoe?
Oh, yeah.
I didn't know you played Boudreaux.
Yeah, he played Boudreaux once, yeah. No, sorry. I was looking at you when I said that. I was looking at you, and then I was watching David roll something.
All those times I was sick.
more sense.
No wonder I
No.
can't remember.
I'm sorry, I misspoke.
Guys.
Evan pseudoed it.
I misspoke. I'm sorry. For when he was playing Roscoe versus when he is playing Spike, his entire
Yeah.
demeanor is different.
And I'm
Which I
excited to
enjoy
see
watching.
as that continues how
Yeah.
much difference it is going to be.
It's going to be tricky. I'll leave it.
Yeah, because Roscoe was Evan. Let's just be honest.
Yeah, because this is definitely way different from.
Very, very, very different character
From
from
Roscoe.
Roscoe. In pretty much every aspect.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah, so that'll be exciting to see, especially the background stuff that are going on. Yeah, so excited for that.
Not that Zeb has changed characters. I just love Zeb's character growth with Fenrir over the years, though. Can we take a minute and just
Yay!
clap for that? I love the character growth with him because he was something that you were like, this is something different than what I feel comfortable with,
Right.
and you still decided to do it. And I really enjoy watching you play Fenrir, and then you say, no, that's what Zeb would do, not what Fenrir would do. Is it what Fenrir would do? And then usually I'm devil's advocate and be like, yes, it's what Fenrir would do.
Yes. No, because I really, and that's things that I'm glad that Zeb keeps in there during the edits and stuff like that, is because Zeb's really good at monologuing of what Fenrir wants to do, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, this is what's going through Fenrir's mind. This is how he thinks of the situation. This is what he would do. This is kind of what I would do. Let's see if we can find some kind of balance with it, or, you know, what the heck, we're just going to go do this. I've really enjoyed that as well. Been really good. Out of Zeb's comfort zone for sure.
Yep.
Okay. Next question is from Evans and Becky's kids. Why did you let Roscoe die? That was dumb.
sorry, kid.
Specifically, that was the oldest kid.
The oldest.
Yes, you were 100% correct. That was dumb. Fenrir
Dumb.
should have healed him.
And Boudreaux, too.
Henley did exactly the right thing.
I also think that the luck points should have worked as well.
I'd like to refer back to the post show for this answer.
And it's not in the players to kind of dig more deep into this is that we did discuss it a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we did discuss about possibly bringing him back, how we would do it, but me and Evan ultimately decided, you know what, it wouldn't be worth it.
We had a plan, and
Mm-hmm.
it was going to execute well,
Mhm.
and it would have been fine. But it just didn't make sense for Roscoe.
It didn't feel right.
What was the plan?
So the plan was, right, because
I can cut that if you want me to.
no, because it is one of those things, like, for instance, right, when Abby's character went down, there were some things that I did wrong as a DM that she shouldn't have been captured. Because I did the creature wrong. And so that is part of the reason why I was like, okay, I can't necessarily kill her character because something went wrong. I didn't feel right for that, so we came up with an idea on how to bring him back, and it was kind of similar for Roscoe. His health was done wrong. And I think it was part of that upgrade that D&D Beyond did, and something got missed or something.
See.
And so we did discuss it, and that was part of the plan of bringing him back, which we were going to have his god. There were going to be a little scene between him and his god, and talking about, hey, you know, I'm not done with you. You need to go back and take care of certain things. And then we were discussing on, okay, since this is almost like a Gandalf thing, you know, you still have a job to do. Once you fulfill said job, then it's time to
I
come
could
back
ride
to
a
me.
boat.
And then we were discussing what that job would be. So eventually Roscoe still would have got left, but where's his, okay, now your unfinished business is done. It's time to return. But then when we both listened to that episode of when Roscoe died and how the group reacted and whatnot, we decided, you know what? Let's just leave it. Did you want to add anything there,
No.
Evan?
No, I mean, I think that pretty much sums it up. Is we had a solid plan, and David and I had talked about it, and then about a week later he messaged me and he's like, well, let's revisit this. And so I went and re-listened to the episode based off of his comments and stuff, and I was like, yeah, I 100% agree. It just wasn't the right move.
And Abby talked to me about it several times about bringing him back, and Becky did too.
Mm-hmm.
So it was definitely a group thing. They really wanted him
eventually
back.
was like, we can't bring him back.
Yeah. So there was a lot of discussion about possibly bringing him back, but ultimately we decided, for the emotion that happened and everything.
And David and I hate it in movies when you have this impactful, amazing character death, and then they're like, hello, I'm not dead. And you're like, what?
I'm not dead.
Sorry, kid.
Mine was spurred on a lot by my middle child crying over the fact that Roscoe died. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, because that was one big worry that we had, right? The whole Roscoe dying and how the fans would react. We had a lot of discussions about that.
Yeah.
Because we've been doing this for 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard.
It's hard. So yeah, we feel the same way. It's dumb that he died. It sucks. But, as we said, it's interesting to see how Spike fits into it. Which is a spoiler, because that's his new character's name.
But I'm not going to tell you anything about him.
Nothing about it.
I will, though. He's a...
Bleep, 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 bleep.
That's why Dave cuts in with an ad.
Come check out our Ko-Fi. Come support us on Ko-Fi.
Okay, last question from Zeb. If your characters had to change classes, what would they choose and why?
Oh, I know. Algebra. Just kidding.
Ew, gross.
There's the first thing that came to my mind. No. He would be... Boudreaux would want to be a druid, and so would Elsie, and that was the original plan, but David said it would be hard, and so I wasn't.
Boudreaux would be hunted.
That's the same reason that Lila Garotha was not a tiefling. Fun fact.
Mm-hmm.
She started off as a tiefling.
Because they would be mistrusted.
Yep. He's like, are you sure? I'm like, yeah. Are you really sure? No. So then I had to make the most complicated character.
That is true.
Because I was upset.
I caused it myself. What about Fenrir?
Yeah. Looking at the story and how it would play into the story, it would be interesting to have him switch to a warlock with the hags being his...
That could still happen.
David, make it happen.
Don't do it.
It has been discussed.
Yeah,
Don't do
we
it.
discussed it a little bit, but yeah.
That is so
Back
cool.
over to you, kid.
Okay, well, which one do you want? Which character do you
Both.
Both.
Yes.
want? Okay, so, well,
I guess all three, technically.
I know. Lila Garotha kind of is already two different classes, just not subclassed. Because Lila was always a sorcerer, and Garotha was always a barbarian. So, individually or together as like a collective unit?
However you want to do it.
Lila probably would have been a bard, but not a very good one. Just because her mom's a bard. And I think her dad could have probably been low-key one too, but Garotha would have probably been a fighter, a paladin. I think she actually would have been a paladin. If she could convince a god to take her, I think she would have been.
Groomsh.
Yeah. And Tick? I have no idea.
Tick is perfect.
I don't know. I like him as his rogue. I don't know what he would be.
Definitely a cleric.
From what god?
Well, there's goblin gods.
No, he would be from an
And how he
elvish
heals
god,
people.
obviously.
And how he heals people is he stabs them.
He would make a good paladin at that point if you're going to go that
Just
way.
a magic
You just
dagger.
smite him. No,
That'd be interesting.
I don't know.
Yeah, paladin. Yeah, you could go that route too.
I don't know what he would be. I really like him as the rogue that he is.
The Rouge.
Can
You could do some sort of like fighter that is almost rogue.
Yeah, there are those.
Yeah.
But I
Swashbuckler.
swashbuckler.
A swashbuckler.
Bugler.
No,
'cause
That's what Abby is.
Swashbuckler.
what would Roscoe be?
I think Roscoe would be a monk, actually.
Oh,
Ooh, yeah, I could see that.
because he's been a fighter and a paladin. Trifecta.
And
That's true.
yeah,
Yeah, 'cause
Yeah.
we don't know Spike yet.
Spike would be a
Abby, what would Henley be?
I think a sorcerer. That or a wizard, but I think sorcerer fits better because part of her backstory and how she has the magic, most of the magic she has now is she went on accident to the Feywilds as a little girl. So that's how she has her dancing lights and that sort of thing, and how she can misty step.
And
She's Fey touched.
Yep. And Yo Links had helped her home those.
Yep. She had those.
If Solemn wasn't a bard, what would he be?
If he wasn't a bard, I think he would probably lean more towards warlock.
So what would
As a
Quill
patron?
be then?
Huh?
Or as a warlock? As a patron or as the warlock?
He'd be definitely just a warlock
So
because
if
he has a patron.
if he was a warlock,
Mhm.
what would Quill be then? Besides a quill?
His
familiar.
patron.
His patron.
No, but like what animal then if it's a familiar?
Oh, okay.
Phoenix.
Yeah, he's a phoenix feather. Bruh.
Goodness. I'd have to think of some.
I could see him as like some sort of sword. Because, there is the sword, the blade.
Or a staff?
You shall not pass. That's all I can think of now. Not that he's a warlock, but that's okay.
So he'd definitely be a familiar. I would. Oh, what is the? I'm trying to remember. It's like almost like an ostrich thing. It's a monster.
A blade beak.
The blade beak. That's not the one I was thinking of, but there's. I can't remember what it is, but it's one that like you look at it and they turn people to stone.
Nice.
Medusa?
Huh?
Medusa?
It's not a Medusa.
Gorgon?
No.
No,
I forget what the creature
Medusa
is.
Turned into.
Let us
A
know.
basilisk?
No, it's not a basilisk.
Is it
It's
a
like an
weeping
ostrich-looking thing.
Okay.
I forget exactly. I'd have to get the DM's the monster manual and flip through it.
Hold
I'm
on.
trying to
So
remember it.
he'd be a warlock. So if Fenrir would be a warlock, what would his familiar be?
A dragon.
The
of
dragon
course.
that you want?
Probably a dragon.
a pseudo dragon. Yeah.
Yeah.
You will be the dragon.
Oh, how cute.
You're going to be a druid.
Yeah.
I think we got everybody.
Yep.
All right, everybody. Well, that
That's
was
all of
fun.
them?
That is all
Oh,
of
wow.
the questions. Yep.
That went fast.
Yeah, we didn't get a lot this time, but 4 years and our fan group. Well, thank you all for sending in your questions, and we hope you enjoyed our mailbag of 2025 and 4 years. Woo! Be sure to follow us on our social medias and get in our Discord. If you have the means, support us on Ko-Fi. We'll get out more content.
Yeah, 'cause
we're
the
working
content
on character art and
Write Boudreaux a letter for $1.
Woo!
Yep, and if you become a member, you get to write Boudreaux for free.
or
one
if
time.
you really want to, you can save it for the mailbag. But we only do it once a year, so
That's where you can find our post shows,
Mhm.
and that's where you can find DM deep dives as well, where I go through and
everyone who has the DM deep dives really, really love them. I mean,
Mhm.
he goes into the planning process, his thoughts while planning. I mean, they're really fun.
and while playing.
And I mean, that's where David goes back through all the old episodes, and that's where he made the mistake with Henley, like lots of insider information.
But you don't have to be a part of the Patreon to write Boudreaux a letter for $1.
It's true. And we
And
also
there's also
have
the Feed the Cast. Every little bit helps.
Yeah, and then we also have, if you wanted to write a special message to somebody, you can also do a sending spell. And we can send a special birthday yell out, shout out, or if you have a little small business or something you want to advertise, we're willing to work with you that way too.
Yep, and don't forget, coloring contest is coming up. I don't know when the end date will be, but I'll be sure to post it in in all our socials and Discords. Discord.
And you can find our Discord in our show notes.
I make sure to have all the links
Mm-hmm.
in there.
And our link tree as well, if you see that on any of our social medias.
Yep.
And if it doesn't work, let us know so we can update it.
Yes.
Because sometimes it randomly stops working.
Some things are updating and doing weird things right now. Okay. I am Abby. I play Henley on the podcast. And to the right, I have
Dave, and I play the DM.
Zeb, who plays Fenrir.
Evan, who is about to play Spike.
Becky and I play Tick.
Elsie and I play Boudreaux.
And thank you all, and bye.
Bye.
Yeah, it's hard to sing symphonies.
I think in one Tick did have like and we're not posting that, are we actually though? Like Tick's rendition of.
It's in the bloopers.
It's in the bloopers.
Yes. Bloopers. Tick's got one coming out.
But as is the case with anything, if you don't want it in there, send me an email.
No, it's fine.
Except for ignore all of Elsie's.
What?
Because she likes to take out stuff that's really good.
Like what?
She's doing a lot better.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, so background into that comment.
Excuse me.
Elsie helps edit the episodes. So Zeb will run through the first edit, then he'll send it out. Elsie, me,
I'm more
and,
like take notes on what should be edited.
yeah.
Maybe.
And at the beginning, it was a lot of like, I make this weird noise, or Boudreaux said something weird, or Elsie, I said something weird, so can we take that out? And I was like, no. That's part of the scene. It's staying in there. That was the comment.
That's the context.
Oh.
Okay.
That's kind of how I do my edits. Only mine are like, hey, this is a really long blank space, and I give the whole time period.
When I also like, when you do your edits, you always do questions on the side too.
That's more for me.
I know, it makes me laugh because so another backstory. Becky's been helping us do that recently too. And she'll write out the timestamps like, too much silence here, weird noise here. But on the side of it, there'll be notes of like, why is Azil so mean to Boudreaux? And things like that.
That was one of my things, actually. I think it's like, why is he being so mean and just disregarding what he says instead of treating him like a lost little kid?
Yeah.
And so it just made me laugh. I was like, are those part of the edits, or is that
No.
just your side comments?
That's just my side comments. It's running through my head.
But if you want, you can answer that question specifically.
I think we
Just so
answered that in the post show for that one.
And just so you know, it is a lot easier to do group edits than it is to just have one single person do it all.
Yeah.
Because
I miss things.
you get really bored too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Zeb's the one editing them.
Sometimes I leave stuff in, and the silence is probably me just getting distracted by something.
But that's easy to take out for me too if something's really long.
Yeah, but like
You can
some
always
stuff,
tell the ones that are like the later episodes because there's a lot more like even little pauses, and you're like, oh yeah, this was like a third recording.
Yeah. The last recording of the night. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you were saying something, Zeb, about
sorry.
the...
No, you're good. I was just. The later ones, like early on, I feel like I cut more of like the banter out. But now I'm trying to leave more in. Like, okay, that's probably something I would cut, but I'm gonna leave it in and see if they edit it out.
When did we
So-
start doing bloopers? Was it the Boudreaux's bath episode?
I'm
no.
not sure.
It would have been right around that time, I think.
Yeah.
Honestly.
That was the first bloopers I remembered because
But-
Elsie said this weird thing about shorts or something like that. And we could
Oh.
actually
Not a blooper. That's in the podcast, and it's real.
Canon because it made it in.
Men do weird things like shoving their shorts in their pants. Okay, it's fine. I have a husband. Even back then, I didn't, but I do now.
weird to think about, like, because like half of us didn't have spouses or anything like that when we started this, and now we're all married.
That is very true.
High five, Deb.
Join Tomes of the Chaos Bard. We'll find you a spouse. Even though we had nothing to do with this.
Nope.
BYU's not working out for you. Come here.
Now we got to start a Tomes of the Chaos Bard dating service.
Please. Solemn would make a great matchmaker.
Oh, goodness.
Can he be like the matchmaker off Mulan?
Yeah.
Speaking without permission.
And then Quill would be the reluctant, not even the cricket. Not Mushu. He'd be the cricket.
Oh yeah.
Just like
Boudreaux would come in every once in a while and be like, I got this.
Oh my goodness. I think
That's so
Mushu
funny.
and Cricket actually make a great Solemn and Quill comparison.
Yes.
That's apt.
I love that.
Okay. We want to hear the voice.
What? What voice?
Do a voice for
He doesn't
Let's
ever have.
go.
Let's go.
He doesn't have a voice. That was
He
Evan's
does.
voice.
He does.